Subsaver, and Monty, we're good?
Good.
All right, whenever you guys are ready.
I'm Michael.
And I'm James.
And I'm Eddie.
And we're here with Subsaver. That allows you to track, manage, and cancel any of your subscriptions from your phone bill to your music streaming service. So subscriptions. Every day, we're bombarded with invoices or notifications about subscriptions in our emails or in our mailbox. And it's just a lot. So as we transition to the subscription economy, there's more content, hardware, and software subscriptions we need to keep track of. But there's no efficient way to track these subscriptions, so you're losing money and you don't even know it. And don't get me started on canceling subscriptions. That can be an absolute disaster for the normal consumer. Canceling a subscription can take hours and oftentimes get you back to square one without any real results. Through our market research, we found that the average American spends almost $1,900 on subscriptions that they don't know they paid for. So how much of that $2,000 is spent on unnecessary and irrelevant subscriptions? We've also found the average American spends about $366 more than they should on their wireless bills per year. That's an outrageous amount of money. So that's where we come with Subsaver, with our track, manage, cancel approach to help you save money and time on your subscriptions. So how Subsaver works, we're easy to use. Our approachable, friendly user interface makes it super easy to access all our track, manage, cancel features to maximize your time and money. Our organized efficiently point is also to help you know exactly what subscriptions you have and what you're paying for to make sure you're paying the exact right amount you want to. And most importantly, we want to be non-invasive. So our competitors oftentimes ask for bank information or important account information like PIN numbers and passwords, which Subsaver will never force users to disclose. So how we work, instead of bank accounts, we use your email. So we scan your email inbox for keywords about subscriptions such as the name, recurring date, and price. And we organize it to a list and you pick which subscriptions you have and we'll track it right away for you. We'll also notify you before your subscription ends so you know when it ends so you can cancel it or manage it if needed. So we can also manually put in subscriptions in order to track them in case our email scanner does not pick up your subscription to make sure you get the right information for your subscription so we can track them. So to help you organize, we will tell you how much you're spending per month on subscriptions to make sure you can cut down any unnecessary subscriptions with our manage and cancel features, and also make sure you're not spending too much money on your subscriptions. So with our manage feature, here's actually our MVP manage feature. So essentially, we put in the information about your subscription, and we'll find you the best deals for that subscription. For example, a phone bill with 4 lines and 20 gigabytes, we'll find you the best deal on that wireless plan for you. And with our cancel feature, we will need our users to disclose confirmation like PIN numbers, because that's the nature of canceling subscriptions. But with our up-to-date industry standard 32-bit encryption, we'll always make sure our information is safe and secure. And with canceling subscriptions, as soon as you press cancel, Subsaver takes care of the rest for you. And
For our direct and indirect competitors, our direct with Highest and Truebill, as well as the Wells Fargo Control Tower, those are apps that completely try to do the exact same thing we try to do, except they ask for your PIN numbers, which we're not trying to do. We're trying to be less invasive. And then for indirect, we're just using paper companies like Mint and Aaron Conjuring to be able to track their subscriptions manually through paper. And then for our customer segment, we're looking to target homeowners age 40-65, which we solidified throughout the year. And then digitally capable seniors, almost the elderly, who can't really manage their own subscriptions, so we're going to help them do that.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about marketing. So for our last MVP, for the last month, we've been using Twitter, but we're going to want to also expand to Facebook. Facebook has over 700 million daily users, and Twitter has a little bit less, but 300 million monthly users. So we can reach a large portion of those through our marketing. Also, we look to implement App Store optimization. App Store optimization is when you search up an app, it comes up higher your app. And through a recent survey done by Forrester, over 60% of apps are discovered through the App Store, so that would help us a lot. And then also to reach more personal level, we're gonna through tech workshops at like local libraries such as the Barrington Library. We've been in contact with them. We haven't set one up yet, but we've been looking into doing that. Okay, so for our channels, we're gonna start in year one by just on the App Store. The App Store is over 2 million apps. So it's a large portion to try to get noticed, but through our marketing tactics, we feel like we can do that. And then after year one, we'd like to expand to Google Play. Okay, so I'm talking about our market sizing. So our TAM, our subscription billing market in the App Store is $2.7 billion. And there's a highly fragmented personal finance market. There's over 250 personal finance apps, and that leads to $24.5 million in sales, which is our SAM. So we currently have a less than a 1% market share, but after year 5, we hope to grow that to over 1%. Okay, so I'm going to talk about our pricing. So we experimented with 2 pricing, a $5 price and a $1 price point. All of our competitors, such as James talked about Hiatus and Truebill, they charge $5 per month. And then we wanted to make it a little bit lower to entice people further. So we experimented with 1, but we thought that that was too low, and everyone kind of like jumped at that. So we felt we kind of settled in the middle at a $3 price point as our final price. So our price per unit right now is going to be $3. 1 unit is a monthly subscription to track, manage, and cancel your subscriptions. Our COGS are right now are 39 cents. We're using PayPal, so that's 2.9% and then a 30% charge. But we're also, we're left with an 87% gross profit margin. That's relatively high. Okay, so the question I want to ask you guys is, would you pay $36 to save almost $1,900 a year? I'm referring to the number Wall brought up earlier about $1,900 of people. That's how much they spend on subscription. They don't know the year. And with our app, it's 12 months and then $3 a month. So it's only $36 to save that much money. a lot of savings. So after year 1, our projected number of units sold is 22,100. We're expected to reach 4,500 customers after year 1. We have, through our market research, we've thought we could reach 100 customers in month 1 and then add 50 to that every single month through our marketing tactics. And that leaves us with the total year 1 revenue of $66,300. So moving on to our 5-year model, I project 100% growth every year through our expanding social media marketing. We also want to expand our customer segments, as James talked about, to the elderly, and then also we're just targeting right now through our social media in the Chicagoland area. We want to expand. We think that this will be a big help to everyone in the United States. We want to expand to the rest of the country.
And then for our MVP, we received $165 earlier in the year, and we used that for $100 for Twitter to be able to market to our future customers. And then we used the $40 to upgrade our website to be able to get it more professional looking for when people would actually fill out our surveys for our management part of the MVP. And then we skyrocketed past 50 emails. That was the only MailChimp to be able to, we could only track 50 at a time, so we had to pay extra, the rest of the $25 to upgrade and get more emails collected. So for our MVP, we used Twitter to be able to get them to our website. Once they got on our website, we gave them information for track, manage, and canceling features. For our managing feature, we be able to fill out our survey, quick couple questions, and then they could also sign up at the bottom. For our MVP and results, we got 76 emails collected, and 8 customers were just part of our manage feature. So part of our track, manage, and cancel process, we have 3 features. Tracking, we let them know when their subscription bill date ends. We also text through text or phone calls or however they want us to reach them and remind them. Our manage feature is we let them know for better and greater offers, the bills they have, and they're canceling, obviously just canceling on our app. So far we had 8 customers managed for just our manage feature, and the rest of the 68 contacted us, and we've been contacting them through via email, and they've expressed interest and wanted to buy our app for just our tracking and canceling feature, but for our MVP, we've just been focusing on managing. And then for our 2 manage options, we've limited that to cable and phone bills to manage those. And then in all, we are asking for $32,000 with a 10% share of the company. And then for our exit strategy, to be able to sell to our strategic buyer, we were looking into wireless companies and online banking services with a money multiple of 6.7.
Thank you for listening. We take care of tracking, managing, and canceling so you don't have to.
Can you go into what you're going to use the money for?
Yeah, so most of it's on our app, and because we need such a high level of encryption for business information, we need to spend a lot of money on our app. So it's about $25,000. That's what we're looking at right now. Yeah.
Do you know who's going to be developing your app? Have you guys communicated with anybody yet?
I've been in contact with a few people. I haven't really got like a firm estimate now, but it's in that ballpark. But I'm still, I think in the next few weeks, we should definitely have like a firm estimate on an app cost.
So actually, how's this going to work? I'm not sure if I, get the flow chart of, I have a bunch of subscriptions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What do I do? Like, I sign up for the app, and then what does the app do?
So with our tracking feature, you put in your email, as many emails as you need, and we'll scan your email for keywords, and then we'll construct your subscriptions, and we'll find like recurring dates, how much you pay on them, like what kind of subscription it is, and we'll put it into a list, and we'll remind you when it's due, so you can see when it's due, if you need to pay it again, and you can also just keep track of how much you're paying per month.
So the app will just go through all my emails.
Yeah,
It'll separate the ones that appear to be a subscription,
yes,
because some are just advertising, right?
exactly, yeah.
Some are like personal emails, some are work emails. The ones that appear to be a subscription, the app will kind of have programming behind
Yeah.
it that it'll cut into it and say, yes, this is definitely a subscription.
Yeah, with our email technology, we scan your email for you. We also leave it up to you. We also give you a manual option. If our email scanning technology does not get one of your subscriptions that you want to specifically
Okay.
track, you're allowed to put that in as well.
So will it say like, hey, I'm prompting you, this possibly is a subscription, flag it one way or another, and let the user do that?
Yeah, and if you don't have like the information, like say we can't find the recurring date, you can always put it in yourself if you need to change it.
How have you thought through, I know the financial institutions that have been marketing products like this rely on actual payment data, so either your credit card bill or your bank statement, infer from payments whether you have a subscription or not. How have you thought through the pros and cons of doing it that way versus doing it through combing through everybody's emails? Is there, are you at a relative disadvantage? Is it more advantageous? How have you thought through that strategically?
So practically, one could say it's a disadvantage, but because our interviews with our customers, they cannot stand putting their bank information in there. There's actually like a Wall Street Journal article that just came out. It was just about that, and it was about the author was hesitant about inputting bank information just to an app. So a lot of our customers, they're not even on board with email sometimes. Like they can't stand putting in bank information. So we decided that's the best course of action is to go ahead with email inbox scan.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely found that through like our customer interviews that like that was the main problem why people like didn't use our competitors, was that was the one main thing that they didn't feel safe putting in that information.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that the average American has $861 in subscriptions a year.
Or it's $18.91. That's how much money is spent on subscriptions they don't know about that they paid for.
Oh, that they literally are.
They have no idea.
They're not using, they don't know about it, they're just,
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you would save that, because you guys would identify it. Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you guys choose Twitter over Facebook? Because you said that your target is 40 to 65-year-olds, and I feel that demographic is going to be stronger on Facebook than it is on Twitter.
yeah, we thought for our managing, we want to move over to Facebook, of course, but we decided to Twitter because our managing feature, we felt that was more for like saving money, and we felt like through our customer interviews that younger people had that problem more, and we found that our Twitter was more of our younger customer segment. So we definitely want to use Facebook, but we think we just chose Twitter for our MVP because it catered more to the managing feature.
Yeah.
I think one of the pieces of feedback we gave you in the MVP was to sit down with family members or people you knew and actually go through their information and collect data on, like, validate the scope of this problem and your value proposition. Have you guys do any of that?
Oh, we did some of that, yeah, especially with not even just family members, but just customers in general. We did find this is like an absolutely massive problem, and if I would like quiz people on what subscriptions they had, they couldn't tell me the first thing they had.
So how many, were you able to get to a point of approximating how much money you saved up?
We didn't have an exact number, no.
For like one example, you said you manage 8 people's accounts.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess give us, if Carlos is asking for some maybe quantifiable data, like you saved them X amount of money or managed this many accounts or it took you this much time to manage it. Any insights from that whole, of those 8 accounts you were managing?
So managing is almost instantaneous as we have a revolving like database of new offers for wireless and cable bills, so it's really easy for us to find new offers, so it's a really fast service. And then the first question was about like how much we save them. So we can't actually tell you that because we don't know if they actually switched their plans. But if they did maximize their money and they decided to go with the best offer, it could be in the hundreds.
But did you cancel any subscriptions for people that
Oh,
they didn't
no.
know they had?
We didn't do that, no.
Through our MVP, we're just testing or managing. We
No,
don't do a tracking.
you were just
thing.
comparing that, hey, you can save money if you switch vendors.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Well, I think you're trying to tackle two things at once. Like, one is, hey, there's a better deal out there.
Yeah.
And one is, hey, you forgot about this and you've been getting charged for the last 3 years for your AOL account,
Yeah.
which I think my personal record's 12 years. I'm like, I've been paying for this for 12 years.
Yeah, we actually found that's a pretty big problem among our customer segment.
Yeah.
A lot of just forgotten irrelevant subscriptions.
So let's, I think there's a need out here because a bunch of like Wells Fargo and like that are trying to solve it.
More or less, yeah. We have a different solution. They're more focused on just tracking. And if you look at the commercials they have on TV, they talk about tracking, but there's no canceling aspect of it. So you have to do every other aspect of the canceling process. So that's just not time effective.
Yeah, so help us get comfortable with the technology powering all of this and the logic behind it and your ability to pull that off. Like conceptually get it. If you had a website that could track everybody's subscription and prompt everyone to cancel things that they're not using and give better deals, it would be valuable. Yes, but how are you going to develop that technology?
We've worked with some people on developing right now, but I think that we have an idea of, for sure, like what we want to do right now. And I've talked to people and like, they've said that like that technology's out there, like we can do that if we want to.
And so you've talked to people. Tell us about who you've talked to.
We talked to, I contacted, forgot the website name, but it was like a firm that developed apps, and I contacted him. I can get you the name, but he pretty much said, like, I went over like kind of what we want to do with like our app and stuff. And I mean, I'm still working with people right now, but like he pretty much said that like it's possible to do.
And then again, with all of our costs, we're implementing not only our encryption with what we're asking for, but it's also plus email scanning technology for it. So we can be able to get that solidified.
We don't know a lot about the technology right now, but we're trying to learn about it and contact people that do know more about it.
And the more we contact, we want to contact way more people so we can just get that firm number.
So get me comfortable with the email skimming technology, because I hear you on the, we're not giving bank information, and I'm part of that demographic that appreciates that. But get me comfortable with the fact that, if I'm hearing you correctly, I've just given you access to all my emails.
Yeah, that's true. We knew some customers aren't comfortable with that, and we've actually encountered customers who are totally against our email scanning technology. But there's always the manual option on our app. So if you're not comfortable, you could always do it yourself and just put it in manual.
That sort of defeats the purpose.
That's true. It is harder.
I'm just looking to understand the security component of it. If there's, I'm sure there is technology out there that prevents, it only is going to grab certain things. I'm just trying to think there's not some troll in a back room looking at all of my, not that I have anything to hide, but I'm just trying to, you know, they don't.
I guess his friend that.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Right. I'm just trying to, if I'm signing up for all the right reasons, I'm trying to just make sure there's not a back end
I know what
that's
you mean.
holding onto the data for wrong reasons. So help me get comfortable with that.
Yeah, so we're trying to invest in like industry standard encryption technology. So that's like a huge part of our app. That's why it costs so much.
Okay.
So we want to make sure our customers never have data compromised, and we need to make sure all emails are just completely secure.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I wonder if there's, what's crossing my mind is I wonder if you can start off smaller and more cost effective and then eventually morph into the business model that you have. And maybe not make any money when you're smaller, but you're learning a lot about how to collect data from people and how to give people peace of mind that they're not, getting ripped off their subscriptions.
Yeah.
I know.
Ironically, a subscription model may not be the best model for managing people's subscriptions.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at other things.
There are lots of businesses that are predicated on trying to save people or businesses money, and it tends to be more of like a one-time engagement.
Yeah, we looked at that, like per cancel fees, like $1 per cancel, $1 per.
Or just based on
Last
value-based pricing, based on how much money you save them.
Yeah.
The way to potentially do that is literally sign up people and say, here's a confidentiality agreement, you're going to have to give me your bank statements, and I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to tell you all your subscriptions, and I'm going to interview you, tell you which ones you want to cancel, and I'll take 30% of the first year savings. And you just form a little service that does it, and you kind of are like certainly not scalable at all,
Yeah.
but what you'll find is, for doing that for a year, then when you sit down with the developer, you say, okay, here's what I need to look for. I need to automate these manual processes
Yeah.
to get there. And, you know, if you guys approached me and gave us confidentiality agreement, would I give you my bank account stuff and said, gosh, if you can save me money, I'd give you 30% of the savings and figure it out. Like because I know you, and you'd be under an agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually have competitors that do exactly that. So,
If they take 50%.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Or take 50% then, or 45, or.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just think the learning that's going to come out of that might be a way to de-risk it for investors, make it super fundable for you guys, probably let you self-fund some of the development. You can probably bank $100,000 if you do that effectively, and then self-fund your growth to do some of this.
Okay.
That's just an idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you.